What is up, comic fans? Welcome to the channel. I'm Mark, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how anime has invaded the DC universe. If you want to hear what I'm talking about, my thoughts on it, and weigh in, because I definitely will need to hear some feedback from some people with more experience than myself, don't go anywhere. Check this out. Huge shout out to the homies over at Big Time Collectibles. Be sure to check them out. Follow them on social media. Hit up their website. Always doing big things over there. And if you need anything cleaned or pressed, my homie Justin can hook it up. His link is in the description. Let him know you found him via the channel. Take advantage of special stuff that he does for viewers of the channel. So let's get into it. Like I said, anime has invaded the DC universe. It is everywhere. That's all the news I'm seeing coming out of DC stuff right now, outside of just my regular solicitation for monthly comics, is just anime now. So I'm kind of just trying to understand what's happening here, weigh in on some of the stuff we have, and kind of give you my thoughts on what's coming up, because it seems like there's no end in sight. So to qualify myself real quick, I have no qualification with anime. Very little experience. I've watched like a 1980s sci-fi horror movie called Lily Cat, which I love. Akira, fantastic. Outside of that, it was just really like Sci-Fi Channel Saturday morning anime stuff. I've watched some Vampire Hunter D and little stuff here and there, but I have really no modern day experience whatsoever. No books, none of that. My older daughter's into it and tells me about stuff, but not me. I kind of think I got jaded early on from coming home from school, and my older brother just always watching Dragon Ball Z and me not having the time of day for it. And even as I got older, there's never really any time outside of the superhero stuff that I was already into to add anything else to it. Now, that is not me knocking the quality of anime. It clearly is quality stuff. So many people are into it. I'm sure a lot of you watching this, a ton of you watching this, are big into anime. And I'd be interested to see, drop a comment, let me know what some of the stuff that you watch or read. Now, for me, this stuff is difficult. Now, they're already bringing in some of my favorite properties from DC into this whole anime wave, and we're going to touch on that and what I'm thinking so far of stuff. And we're going to kick it off with the first one that we have to go over, which really, it's already here, and that's none other than My Adventures with Superman. It's a brand new anime Superman television show on Adult Swim, which is like a subset of Cartoon Network or something like that. Typically, from my experience, the Adult Swim brand comes with mature content. Now, this is not mature content. It's actually great for all ages. Me and my 3-year-old who just ran in here, we've been watching every episode. I am up to date. I've seen all 3 episodes, and I got to tell you, it's a chore to watch. It is difficult. It is, anime style is just not for me. Now, what I always say, it doesn't matter if you re-envision something as long as you capture the essence of the characters. And I feel like they do that with Superman, not necessarily with all the characters whatsoever, but with Superman they do. He's got that heart of gold, just wants to help people. The first episode started with him as a kid trying to save a cat out of a tree. I mean, it's definitely Superman, but it's just this anime style, man, with how everyone's just bubbly, over the top, energetic, and insufferable at times. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this picture really just encapsulates exactly what I mean. Like, this is from an image that they shared when they first announced the show was going to be made. So we have Lois, Clark, and Jimmy right there. And Lois is just, man, her energy is just all over the place, all off. It's really weird. And to be honest with you, it's hard to get into some of the voice casting for this, because like growing up with so much Superman content, you kind of get like that mind's eye for the character and everything. Now, the animation itself, I guess it's good from what I've been told. It's kind of like in the middle road between like actual hardcore anime and like Western animation. So they, from like my friend Ready for Wednesday, Collecting Madurs, who watch a lot of anime stuff, said that this kind of feels like a bridge between the two. So that being the case, I really don't want to critique or like say anything too negative about that kind of stuff, because I just have no experience. But the animation is serviceable for me, who just really don't have any time for it. The characters are over the top, way too much, almost caricatures of actual characters that exist. So it gets a little weird, and they're doing some stuff that I think is odd with Superman, like, and inconsistent. We see him gain his powers or gain knowledge of his powers and don his suit via blue electricity. And those that know Superman's history know that he had this electric blue arrow, but it's not like he has that power in the show. It just, his suit materializes from electricity and lightning and stuff. It really makes no sense whatsoever. And if I thought for a second they were going to tease us with the electric blue like we've been teased in comics and everything else for a while. I was sorely mistaken come episode 3 when you actually see him open his shirt classic style. So it's just, I don't know if that's a normal anime thing to have no consistency or make any sense of the stuff that you're doing or explain it, but there's a lot of that in the show. But it is only a 22-minute long episode cartoon, so I might be overthinking that stuff. Now, some of the cooler aspects of the show that I'm really loving, we're 3 episodes in, and we've already had 3 major villains appear, starting off with Livewire in episode 1, one of the characters that came over, I believe, from Superman, the animated comic book initially, and Livewire was there causing havoc, and none other than Slade Wilson, Deathstroke the Terminator, even though he looks like a 14-year-old kid there with a flock of seagulls haircut. He showed up. That was cool. And then in episode 3, we got none other. You don't have a clue who that is other than maybe the bones on the pants. So that's Silver Banshee. She was broken out of prison by her brother and her friend, and given intergang tech to give her the ability to do the psionic scream and everything. So kind of twist on stuff that we know, which is always cool. So it feels fresh, and the designs are absolutely ridiculous for my taste, but to each their own. So this is, it's cool to see the characters. It's cool to see them re-envision and reimagine, but it's still just not like in a way that really plays with my fandom at all. And I'm pretty much an easy sell when it comes to DC stuff and Superman specifically. But this is just, like I said, tough. Now, there was a huge reveal story-wise at the end of episode 2 that did not really get touched on in episode 3, but it feels like there's a certain character that I really don't want to spoil here, but cover your ears, earmuffs. Amanda Waller and Task Force X appear at the end of episode 2, letting us have an idea of who like the big villain's going to be potentially for this series. So that's really cool. I feel like Amanda Waller is in everything. We know in the comics are building up to something massive with Amanda Waller. So we'll see where that goes. But leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you were thinking of this show specifically, if you're watching it, and where you're watching it. Are you watching it on Cartoon Network, on Max? Or are you watching it somewhere else that probably doesn't benefit the companies making it? RMAT, you know what I mean, you pirates. So next up was one that got announced not long ago, and this one's kind of weird. This is a brand new series, straight up anime. This is from a different studio altogether. It's going to be Suicide Squad. I'm going to butcher this, but Isekai. I don't even know how to say that. Isekai. I believe Kai is Kai, so Isekai, maybe, which from my understanding is a form of animation storytelling where someone's like placed into like a fairy land with monsters and stuff or something. But again, with the Amanda Waller thing here, so we have her in Superman. Now we have a whole new Suicide Squad anime series coming. And this isn't like something that's premiering on Max, to my knowledge. It's an actual hardcore anime thing of its own. And they did give us a 1-minute teaser trailer featuring no characters from the Suicide Squad, but featuring this weird design Joker. Like, it just, this stuff borderlines fetish stuff. Like what are these people into is what I don't get. Like, from the way he's drawn to the weird collar on his neck, his chest out, it's weird. It's super weird. And I don't understand what's going on with this, but they did put out a decent article on the topic and everything. Let's take a look at some of that. Let's see if we get it without that. So, Suicide Squad Isekai teaser, characters, and everything we know so far, which isn't much. We do know it's listed as a Task Force X story, which is the Suicide Squad, though we're only given this image of Harley Quinn so far in that teaser that only shows her and the Joker with a brief showing of Amanda Waller. But it promises to be an outrageous and exhilarating anime series that will captivate a global audience. So they're saying it's going to get everybody everywhere. But we don't have an official release date on it. There is a trailer for it. Now, I was trying to see if I could find like what the Isekai thing is on here. At the moment, we're still in the dark as to who'll be voicing the characters. So we really don't have much. Not at all. The team is typically composed of Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, all that. We're really not getting any information. There it is. What is Isekai? So at its core, Isekai is directly translates to other world or another world in which our beloved characters find themselves thrust into extraordinary and unfamiliar realms. They must quickly learn to navigate their way through mysterious dimensions, virtual landscapes, and enchanting fantasy settings, all while adapting their newfound surroundings to survive. So who knows what that can lead. That really feels like the door's open to anything. Like anything can really happen with that. And in the trailer, you see like them standing in like a forest woodland field and like these these mythological looking monsters in front of them. So I don't really know what the concept. I'm not familiar with it. Again, leave a comment down below if you have any context to this or if you're excited about it. I'll be honest with you, just from the animation alone, this looks, again, difficult. But being Suicide Squad, I feel like they're really just like making it difficult to skip over any of this stuff. So I'm definitely going to give it a watch and a try. And then the last thing that really made me want to actually make this video is when I was picking up my books this past Tuesday, on the shelf this week was a manga sampler. I have no clue that this was happening, but apparently on the DC Universe app that you can read, there's already DC manga on there. And this is a sample of an upcoming Joker manga that'll be coming out, and 3 more listed on the back with a $9.99 price tag. Looks like they'll be dropping this coming September. So from Superman out, Suicide Squad coming, to multiple mangas going to be hitting shelves, including Operation Joker, Superman versus Meshi, and Batman Justice Buster. So manga is pretty much everywhere at this point. If you want an idea of what some DC anime looks like, go check out Batman Ninja. You should be able to find it on the Max app. It's been out for a few years. That's one of the few DC animated films that I didn't buy. And even when I watched it, I didn't even finish it. It just wasn't for me. It just wasn't good. So let me know what you think of the idea of DC investing so heavily into manga. If this is them licensing out their properties to make a little bit extra money, I actually think that's a really good idea, to be honest with you. I think that companies should license out their properties more often, get some different takes. I'm not opposed to it whatsoever, but I just feel like obligated to read stuff I don't want to read and watch stuff I really end up not enjoying, because I don't want to miss out on something. I love these characters and stuff. But leave me some comments down below. I really don't have much to go on with this video. Like, I'm pretty much in the dark, just trying to share my thoughts on this stuff with you guys and get some feedback, maybe get some information from y'all and learn a little something, or maybe find a better way to approach this stuff, being that I really have no experience with it at all. But I appreciate anyone watching the video that's made it this far. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, consider hitting the join button, becoming a channel member. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.